It says I'm live. It also says it's waiting for me. That's fantastic. Ah, there we go. Don't know why I'm bothering. One's gonna. Hello. Okay. I think I'm live, but I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. It says 2 watching. Am I both people? Is there someone else here? Okay. I think I'm live, but I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. It says 2 watching. There's definitely delay. Is there someone else here? And now I'm going to stream myself and screw everything up. Ah, crap. Okay. Oh, where's the share link? I think I'm live, but I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. It says 2 watching. There's definitely delay. Is there someone else here? And now I'm going to stream myself and screw everything up. Ah, crap. Oh, where's the share link? Should probably go ahead and mute that. Don't need to be listening to myself here. Now it says 4 people are watching. Am I all 4 people? I might be all 4 people. Who knows? Calm down, computer. Why are you heating up so much? Is there anybody out there? Because I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. Still says 3, so. Of course you are. Why are you watching me live stream whenever you're literally across the hall? Put my earphones in and see how delayed that is. I guess pretty dang delayed. Wonder how much fan noise the microphone's going to pick up. That's going to be fun, too. Put my earphones in and see how delayed that is. I guess pretty dang delayed. And then you text me? Really? Wonder how much fan noise the microphone's going to pick up. That's going to be fun, too. Put my earphones in and see how delayed that is. I guess pretty dang delayed. And then you text me? Really? Wonder how much fan noise the microphone's going to pick up. That's going to be fun, too. I'm just going to hear myself saying it over and over and over again. Put my earphones in and see how delayed that is. I guess pretty dang delayed. It shouldn't be recording its own audio. That's odd. And then you text me? Really? Okay, then. Wonder how much fan noise the microphone's going to pick up. That's the fourth time I've heard that. Why is it picking itself up? Stop it. I'm just going to hear myself saying it over and over and over again. Oh, desktop audio. Haha. Fixed that issue. To anyone who is listening, it picked itself up. I'm sorry. I don't think there's anyone here yet or at all. So I'll probably just go about my recording. One moment. How is anyone that is out there doing tonight? As you can tell, I had a lot of fun setting this up, trying to figure things out. Still not quite there yet. Okay. Ah. Hello, Madam Raven. How are you doing tonight? Is it starting and stopping on you? Because Patience said she was having that same problem. Also, excuse the throat clearing. I have major allergy issues right now. Oh, don't open Vegas. Damn it, I clicked the wrong icon. I opened up Vegas, and now my computer's doing stupid stuff. Hang on. I can no longer hear myself. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. Okay, that's working. Oh, good. I think Vegas completely screwed everything up and I can no longer hear myself. That's fun. Note to self. Don't open Vegas while you're streaming. Think that'd be obvious. That program has enough trouble as is. Can anybody hear me? Hello, hello? Huh. That's good. I'm actually amused at the fact that you can hear me, since I don't even have my microphone set up in OBS as something to be recording. Oh, I am terrible at this, guys. Or, I'm terrible at this, patience. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is I cannot hear myself anymore, and that's just neat. Okay. It's working now, that's good. And as you can see here, we have Mr. Alan Armack / Marcus Kane responding with one of his fantastic gifts, as always. He's a good man, that Alan Armack / Marcus Kane. Sorry, I know that's probably annoying. I'm watching my own stream here just to make sure it works on my end. Alright. I don't want to bore you with all that stuff. Let's see. Again, I apologize for the throat clearing and coughing. My allergies are acting up really bad right now. Got some major tree pollen going on. Oh yeah, pollen's at 10.1 here in Kansas, with oak, maple, and poplar. Oak and poplar being the two worst ones for me. That's fantastic. How are you doing tonight, Madam Raven? I'm going to try to get into recording here now. The stuff that's important. Okay, so you just now heard what I said. So there's definitely a delay. I'm doing great. It's 9:49 here, and I'm in a closet, so I got that going for me, which is nice. And now I'm slightly curious if I'm going to be able to record while I'm streaming. Will OBS and Audacity fight over the microphone? I clearly have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, I'm gonna jump into it. Now I'm gonna jump into it. Alright. I believe I have posted this story before on one of my old accounts, of which already I screwed up. That's good. I believe I have posted this story before on one of my old accounts, of which I have lost the password for and gotten locked out of. I posted the story on Let's Not Meet, but I figured it would be more suitable for this sub, since I don't believe I was actually in danger. I also want to preface this. Nope. I also want to preface with hoping. I also want to preface with hoping I don't sound like I'm turning my back on a stranger's kindness. However, I just want to say the whole vibe just felt off. Hey, I can mute the microphone in OBS and clear my throat really hard. Oh. So what about the streams not working? Just everything? It's showing on my end still. Still seeing it, so. Anyway. I'm gonna continue recording and see what happens. Chat. This happened a few years ago, around 2014. I was about 19 years old, and I was dating a guy who lived in Southern Illinois while I grew up in while I lived up north in the city. Off and on might be me. Oh, that's recording. Crap. Oh man. I'm very professional, aren't I? Okay. I was about. Gotcha. Okay. I'll check the chat here again in a second. I was about 19 years old, and I was dating a guy who lived in Southern Illinois while I lived up north in the city. He was originally from where I grew up, but his family moved down south to be closer to his mom's parents. Usually he would come up to visit me, but on this occasion, I decided to go down to visit him and have a neat little adventure on my own. I got up to get ready and get on the train. Hella early, and around 9 a.m., we were off on our journey. crap, I made that 2. It was a pretty empty train, but I did take notice of the man, maybe late 30s, sitting across from me in one seat back. He looked exactly like Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump. He even had the accent. It was going to be a pretty long train ride, and I was tired from being up so early that I ended up drifting off. I awoke, I don't know how long later, to a pair of hands reaching over me and draping a blanket on me. I sat up confused and looked around, and found the Forrest Gump guy staring at me and smiling. In lieu of a thank you, I just kind of settled back into my chair with the strange blanket and tried to tell myself that he was just being nice. Being a young girl alone, you're always warned to be wary of strangers. I've always I've also always looked very young for my age, so it isn't uncommon for strangers to think that I was a little too young to be out and about on my own. Still, I wasn't expecting to interact with anyone. It was one of those conflicting, thank you for your kindness, but please go away type feelings. Regardless, I drifted off again, and I woke up this time to a pair of hands stretching over me, holding a cup of hot chocolate. This was the first time we spoke. In his Forrest Gump accent, he goes, "Here you go, it's hot chocolate. I can't drink 2." He then held he then held up the one he got for himself. This also struck me as odd because I thought, then why buy 2? I simply thanked him. I simply thanked him. Another thing as a young girl we are taught. Nope. Another thing, as a young girl, we are taught to never accept drinks from strangers. I had no idea where this hot chocolate had even I had no idea where this hot chocolate had even been before hovering over my asleep train corpse, so there was no way I was drinking it. I decided to just fake sip to be polite. Here's where it gets weird. Now, I might just be being paranoid, but as I started drinking the hot chocolate, this man starts staring at me. He is watching me drink this hot chocolate with the scrutiny of a food critic. I swear to you, he almost looked puzzled. In my anxiety-filled head, I'm thinking this dude is wondering why I'm not passing out. The drink is roofied, it's poison. Any scenario I could come up with, in my brain, I did. After about 20 minutes of staring at me, he then gets up to come sit right next to me. Not gonna lie, this is kind of nice, because I can actually hear myself recording it as I record it, with a delay, so I can hear if things sound bad. I kind of like that. But I could not do this regularly. I could not listen to myself recording as I record regularly. It would tear me up in my head. Okay. He starts asking me questions. What's my name? Where do I live? Have I ever been to Southern Illinois before? Am I by myself? So, I lied. I lied through my teeth. I gave him a fake name and a fake-ass backstory. He then told me his name, which I can't remember now, and that he was getting off at the very last stop. He was going to disappear, his words, to work on a barge going up and down the Mississippi for 6 months. He also used the words off the grid. Decent serial killer job, if you ask me. Luckily for me, we pulled up to my stop about 30 minutes later. I was like, well, love to stay and chat, but this is me, and I bounced. Like I said, he could have just been being like I said, he could have just been a very nice, albeit very socially awkward guy. He could have just seen a young girl on the train and felt like looking out for her. However, my gut felt super uneasy, and, as I said, the vibe felt super off. You never know, we might see the Forrest Gump killer in the news someday, so I did everything I could not to wake up covered in plastic on this guy's barge. Or maybe he's just out there buying nice girls hot chocolate. Story 1 complete. Still sounds pretty good. Close Twitter. How's that sounding, Madam Raven? Sounding good? Okay. Awesome. And Patience, if you're still there, how's it sound to you? Patience is my other half, Madam Raven, if you don't know. I've mentioned her in other videos, but I don't know if you've seen them. She did the voice of Taylor in the 13th Floor series for me. Yeah, don't bump the mic. As far as you know. As far as everyone on the Twitter world knows. Ah, jeez. Alright, story 2. I was probably about 20, and I was babysitting for some decently wealthy people who happened to be good friends of mine. I was on the main floor, and there was one little boy upstairs in bed, and 4 older boys, 8 and 9, downstairs playing video games. It was probably close to 11 p.m., and there was a knock at the door. I can see it's a big guy in a red sweatshirt. I slowly crawl to the kitchen and grab the biggest knife I can find and go stand at the wall by the door where the man cannot see me, but would have to walk past me to come in. I call the homeowner because they have that Ring doorbell, and this was when it was very new and few people had it, so she can talk to the man through her phone. So she says, "I'll call you right back after I talk to him," and hangs up. Meanwhile, the guy is knocking aggressively now, and I'm praying that none of the kids hear, as I don't want them to come downstairs or upstairs and scare them. My phone rings, and she says that she talked to him, and he said he was with Uber, not popular in this area at this time, looking for Angela, which ironically happens to be the homeowner / my friend's name. But the last name was something weird. She said she told him he had the wrong address and to be on his way. However, he was still at the door. She stays on the phone with me until he walks away, which was several minutes later. We hang up as she thinks it was an honest misunderstanding. Meanwhile, I have this terrible, awful feeling in my gut, so I go to the door to watch for his headlights to leave. Their house is at the end of a dead-end road. I never saw his headlights. I never saw his headlights leave, nor did I ever see a car. I laid on the couch staring at the door until daylight at 7 a.m., when I finally fell asleep, only to be awoken by the kids at 8 a.m. The whole time, this big man was standing at the door. Nope. The whole time this big man was standing at the door, all I could think to myself was, I'm 20 years old, 100 pounds, and 5'3" and female. You have to kill him. If he comes through that door, you have to give it your everything and kill him. You have to protect these 5 little boys. You have to stab him, and don't stop. It's honestly a scary way to think, but the motherly instinct in me was telling me that I have to save these kids at all costs. Thankfully, he never came back that night, and I didn't have to test my strength. Story 2. About 2.5. So, Madam Raven, I don't know if you have any extra insight, but I am curious. The collab that we did, that you and I had the same story for, that we did the bingo thing for, do you know anything more about that? It looks like there's been a lot of confusion. Does that sound like an accurate way to describe that? It is really hot in here in this closet. I'm thinking I might have lost her. If so, that is okay. I'm sure she'll either come back or she had something else to do. Let's check. Still says 4. Not that matters. Well, I'm going to continue recording and come back to the chat here in a moment. So I work in a store in the mall in a fairly nice area. I work right by the main doorway, which people come in and out of all day, and people hang out in the vestibule, area between the outside-inside doors, waiting for the bus to come. I usually work alone, at night, lock up, leave through the same area, walk to my car, and go home. 2 days ago, I ended up working a morning shift and get to leave at 4 p.m. Yay. While it's still light out. Mind you, I'm a 22-year-old, slim, blonde girl. Excuse me. Mind you, I'm a 22-year-old, slim, blonde girl, and I usually get mistaken for 13. This day, I was wearing a pink sweatshirt and pink leggings with my hair in a ponytail, so I guess I could appear as young. Otherwise, normal day. so whatever. I'm walking toward the vestibule, and when I push open the first set of doors, I always check if there's someone behind me to see if I should hold the door open for them, because I don't want to be rude. So I see an Asian guy, tan jacket, khakis, casually walking a good distance behind me, and I don't want him to try and hurry up, so I hold the door open with my foot for him to walk through while I check my phone. He walks through the door, grabs my arm, and says, "Come with me. I know what you stole." He's grabbing my arm pretty hard, and he is pulling me, mind you. There are two women in the opposite side of the vestibule, and a guy standing maybe 3 feet away, and I are no. And a guy standing maybe 3 feet away and I are making direct eye contact with this guy with a please help me kind of look. The Asian guy continues to say, "Come with me," and is partway through the door to the outside. And I'm keeping resistance. Trying to keep my arm close to my body and pull back. I think I mumbled something like, I don't want to. I was so confused and couldn't even comprehend what was happening. I thought for a second, is he joking? Does he think I'm someone he knows and he's messing with me? Does he think I'm he knows? That sentence was not typed well. Okay. Alright, keep going. Is he mentally ill? And I pull back enough that he lets go, and then he casually walks out the door, into his car, and just drives off. Me and the dude that were standing there the whole time are just jaw dropped looking at each other, saying, "What the hell was that?" Back and forth. He thought the same thing, pretty much. He ended up walking me to my car and telling me that I needed to report it. I gave him a big hug, thanked him, and got into my car. Then I called my mom, and then security, then talked to security, and the police, spoke to a detective, the whole 9 yards. Apparently, this isn't the first time a tall Asian guy was acting weird. A guy, probably the same one, apparently harasses juvenile girls at the mall frequently, and isn't even supposed to be at the mall. Security showed me a picture of nope. Security showed me pictures of an Asian guy that they suspect is him, and also caught the whole thing on camera. He apparently walked in only 15 minutes before this all happened. I'm still kind of in shock. Also, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice on Monday. Hey, today's Monday. Woohoo! Story 3. About 3 minutes long. Yeah, still on, Dad. Lloyd. Whoops. That was a slip. Hello, Weird Broadcast Network. How are you doing? Oh, man. Alright. How are you doing, Lloyd? Person I'm definitely not related to. Yeah, WBN. I completely and totally understand that. some stuff's definitely going on out there, and I think as long as we just push through it, we'll be okay. And Lloyd, yeah, I have never done this, as you can probably tell. This is a super professional live stream. Um, totally prepared for everything, had everything going and ready, and there's no issues or coughing or throat clearing or sniffling. Totally, totally professional. Yeah, all in due time, I know. We'll be able to get back outside, and hopefully life will go back to some level of normalcy. I don't know if normal is the right word. I just think some level of normalcy is probably the best way to look at it. Um, yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. uh, I'm not a gloom and doom kind of person. I like to look at the bright side of things for the most part. So, yeah. All right, WBN. Good night. I know I typed it already, but I'm gonna say it on stream. So, good night. And yeah, Lloyd, as normal as it can get. I feel like, and this is fun. I don't mind chatting. I feel like at the end of this, things are going to be in a situation. Excuse me. Things are going to be in a weird situation where we're still going to be acting like this is happening even after it's over. Um, mostly, mostly because this craziness has been enough to really change how things are out there, and some things for the better, in my opinion. Not going out as much, like for Patience and I, not going out as not going out and eating as much, staying home, just spending time at home, doing things we need to around the house, not being distracted by things. Obviously there's the terrifying aspects of it, like, the number of deaths that are happening and the number of infections, but I think as long as we stay as safe as we can, obviously, things will be okay for us. Just got to be as careful as possible. Yeah. So, Lloyd, what do you got going on tonight? You like the screen setup. You mean you like how I have my Reddit page on the left and Audacity on the right? it it was quick and easy. The quickest way I could set this up. I'm gonna record another story and then I'll get back to chatting. So, also, I really don't like calling you Lloyd. Anyway. This happened many years ago. I was about 12 years old and went to the mall with my friend, same age, and her sister, 1 year younger. We were three typical 12-year-old girls, jeans and a t shirt, and sneakers. It's one of those city malls that likes to think it's fancier than it is. but it also wasn't super ghetto or anything. We were at one of the back entrances, less well used than the main entrance, just goofing around by the railing that led to the doors. We were playing on we were playing balance beam on the railings, taking turns standing on it and walking, when this guy comes up to us. He was maybe late 20s, Hispanic or maybe Middle Eastern. I don't really remember too clearly. Like I said, it feels like it was 1,000 years ago. He smiles at us and says to me, "Hello, I think you're so beautiful. So very beautiful. Would you like to come home with me?" And we were just like, "Ew, no, thank you." And immediately went inside the mall, where there were lots of people. We just kind of brushed it off, didn't tell our parents, didn't think much of it at the time. But sometimes I do think about it. Would it have turned out differently if I was alone? Wait, you're sure that what feels weird? I already forgot what I said. Also, what is seven deadly sins? I don't know what that is. Oh, calling you Lloyd. Yeah, I don't think I can get into that. It's too much for me, honestly. So I guess I just gotta say, to everyone who ever watches this, which will be nobody, Lloyd is my father. It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon on what? Netflix or what? Netflix, okay. Yeah, you're welcome for that. I'm admitting on LiveStream for the record that you use my Netflix account. Alright, couple more stories for the night's over. Now they're gonna ban my Netflix account. And you're welcome. You're welcome. But they're gonna ban my account now, so oh man. This happened about an hour ago, and I'm 99% sure that the reason it didn't go any further than it did is because of the amount of time I've spent on this sub and similar ones. Before, I think I'd have been too polite to do what I did, but I've learned from the posts on here to screw politeness. I work as a private carer, so I provide care for customers in their own homes. My job is pretty much going from my car to my customers' homes and back again, so I don't spend a lot of time on the street by myself. My manager is also quite strict about late evening calls, and doesn't often let us do them for the exact reason that I am about to explain. One of my customers lives in a very large block of flats which is gated from the street. There is a large gate for cars and a pedestrian gate next to it, which requires a code to gain access. Only residents are allowed a key fob for the vehicle gate, so us carers have to park a little way up the street, which I did, and use the coded pedestrian one. The call began at 9 p.m., and I was finished by 10 p.m. I left my customer's block and walked down towards the gate to get back to my car. As I approached the gates, I noticed a man walking past wearing a beaten-up red backpack. He was already past the gates by the time I exited, but he heard the metal gate slam and turned. We locked eyes, and the moment he did, he quickly changed direction and started heading toward me. Like I said, because of this sub, I'm probably a little paranoid, but alarm bells did start sounding immediately, and I noped it straight away. I turned back around and quickly punched in the code to the gate, slamming it behind me so that it would lock. I figured if he genuinely lived there or was visiting someone, he would know the code, as you can't even visit someone without it. As I slammed the gate and turned around, he was right there on the other side of the bars. I smiled politely and asked if he was all right, to which he replied, yes, as if it was none of my business. I nodded and turned to walk back to my customer's flat when he asked if I was going to let him in. I said, do you live here? To which he replied, yes. And I said, well, you'll know the code then. He then started spinning me some long drawn-out story that I couldn't really follow about having not lived there long and forgetting the code. I knew this was bull, because I'd clearly seen him walk merrily past the gate before seeing me. He would at least know where his flat was, and the way he turned the moment he saw me was way too suspicious. I gave him a patronizing smile and said that I was sorry, but I couldn't let him in if he didn't know the code, and that he would have to call the building manager. He would have had the emergency number if he did, in fact, live there. He muttered something incomprehensible and turned to walk off the way he was going in the first place. I headed back to my customer's flat and called my boyfriend, who very helpfully didn't answer the phone. It being late, I didn't want to disturb my customer if I didn't have to, so I figured I'd wait a few minutes and then go back to the gate and see if he was still lurking. If he was, I would have to wait in my customer's home. Fortunately, he was long gone by the time I went back to the gate, but I walked to my car holding my keys between my fingers just in case. Am I going to do this again? Probably, at some point. It is kind of fun. I do enjoy doing it. Despite the fact that, nobody's here. Pretty much just you, Patience, and me. Couple other people join. Weird Broadcast, Madam Raven have been here. I will probably do it again at some point in time. Yeah. The stories you're hearing now are for a Creepy Encounters collection. A collection of creepy encounters with random people. I know you know what they are. And since you're listening to this, you won't have to actually listen to the video. It's kind of nice. And lastly, you'll find I don't do a whole lot of changing or editing with my audio for the most part. That is my intent. Saturday or Friday, yeah, I know you will. I know. Saturday or Friday would be my intent. I was bored tonight and need to get this done, and I'm like, screw it. It's almost 10 o'clock. Let's go ahead and let's do some recording audio. And no, I know I'm live. What I mean is, because I'm also recording these as I'm reading the stories, and I'm going to edit those and put them in the video. what I'm saying is I don't do a whole lot of retakes or modification to the audio. So the final stories you hear are pretty much the final stories, or pretty much like the first recordings too. Yeah. Is this a short story? I do my basic effects. I know I'm delaying what I'm saying, sorry. Alright, one more story. Alright. I spent 12 years cutting men's hair before switching careers. A big part of why I switched professions was because I was tired of dealing with creepy clients. I have quite a few stories, but this one stands out in particular. It occurred It occurred when I had just gotten my cosmetology license and started working in a cool rock and roll themed barbershop by my house at the time. The shop had opened pretty recently, so there were some very long, slow days. I helped out at the front desk and usually sat there with my manager to greet and say goodbye to the customers. One day, there was a dude who had a handlebar mustache that he curled into complete circles on each side. He was getting cut by one of the male barbers, and when he was done, he came up to the front desk to pay. He mumbled something very low while looking at me, so I said, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" He kept whispering, and I got closer. He whispered, "You have very beautiful breasts." I'm pretty sure my facial expression said it all. He tried to add, "and beautiful eyes," but I was over this dude already, and my manager had stepped away. He was just standing there smirking at me so creepily with his eyes glued to my chest. He asked me where the bathroom was, and I pointed to the back. He was in the bathroom for like 30 minutes. When he came out, he handed the receptionist a super slimy $20 bill and stated, "That's a very sexy picture you have in your bathroom." There were music posters all over the shop, including the bathroom. It was a poster of Nelly Furtado. He lingered leaving, and I got one of the male barbers to come up. The dude immediately was ready to leave and scurried out the door. There were only women at the desk when he was being peak creepy. Just, ugh, it makes my skin crawl. This is honestly a tame story out of the many that I have, but I still couldn't believe how creepy he was. Yeah, you're not the only person that's had that problem, Dad. I don't know if it's YouTube or if it's the connection from home. I have gigabit, so it really shouldn't be the connection from my home. Everything should be stable, but I'm gonna guess YouTube. They're probably overloaded. I'm probably doing this at peak times or something, which apparently is 10:30 at night. That's great peak timing. Um. All right. Excuse me. Again. Time to record the outro real quick. It says 5, but I'm 1, you're 1, Patience is 1. I don't know if there are actually 2 other people here or if it's a system counting us twice. Either way, it's still fun. So that, my lovely listeners, was 6 creepy encounter stories from Reddit. I hope that you enjoyed those stories, and I know that this was a bit of a strange video, not having an intro and all. I'm kind of trying out having videos without intros to see if they work. Uh, so if you liked that, let me know. If you hated the fact that I didn't have an intro, let me know. Either way, I'm going to do this a couple times and then move on from there. If it works, great. If not, I'll go back to my intros. If you did enjoy the video, please do hit that thumbs up button. Let me know that you liked it. Also, if you really enjoy my content, please do hit that subscribe button. That helps the channel a lot. Lastly, leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. I would love to hear from you. Down in the description, you will find links to all these stories, as well as links to my subreddit, Twitter, and Facebook, and a page where you can submit your stories to me if you have any that you would like me to narrate. Think that's everything. So, all that said, I hope you all have a fantastic day and a fantastic week. See you on the next video, but until next time, sleep well. Also, hey, Maskino. You mean I should have had patience do the last story? Is that what you're saying? She's only doing female voices for like my horror fiction. Like Taylor for 13th Floor, which that premieres tomorrow night. If you guys don't know. All right, so yeah, I just recorded a full episode worth of audio. So I think I'm probably gonna call it a night. It is 10:40 here where I am. Do appreciate everybody that showed up. Well, I think all of those were from a woman's point of view, Dad. I I don't know if you were listening, but I think they were all from a female point of view. Like there was one where I literally said I was a 12-year-old female. Uh and I don't know if anyone knows this that's currently present. I am not a 12-year-old female. I'm about as far from a 12-year-old female as you could be. I'm not like saying anything bad against you, Dad. I'm just saying that I just think they were all from a female point of view. Anyway. Alright, guys. Maskino, thank you for showing up. Madam Raven, Weird Broadcast Network, Dad, Patience. Thank all of you for showing up. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it, really, honestly. So thank you guys. This has been a fun first stream. I don't know what the hell I'm doing at all, so. Yeah, this video should go up, I think, on Wednesday. Not this Wednesday, next Wednesday. So look forward to that if you want to watch it. So that all said, I'm going to cut the mic and say goodnight. Thank you.